Hello YouTube. So this is the OnePlus 5T, the new flagship from the house of OnePlus. This one is the midnight black variant with 64 gigs of storage and 6 gigs of RAM. I bought it from Amazon for rupees 32k. Now you can get the 128 gigs variant with 8 gigs of RAM for an extra 5k. I was actually planning to get the LG V30 Plus for its design and camera, but for budget concerns I opted for this finally. I was using a Samsung Galaxy Note 4 for like 1.5 years now. I was really fed up with its compromising performance in exchange for cool ROM features. I guess I'm gonna miss the S Pen a little bit. It was a bit handy for quick note taking and all, but it's an easy bargain when you see your device failing the daily basic challenges. One thing I hate about Samsung is its TouchWiz UI, which excels at lag. So that's a big reason to switch to OxygenOS or any close to stock Android ROM. If performance is a big concern for you, like it is to me, waiting for an app to open like for 2 seconds every time, even though the app is in the memory, is not something you find very charming, regardless of how many features it provides in the ROM. That was kind of the deal breaker for the LG V30 Plus as well. Now, I'm not so sure that LG's custom UI can provide the smoothness of OxygenOS. So let's take a look at the back of the box. It contains the handset, USB cable, a charger, CPU case is included, the SIM tray ejector. Now, without any further ado, let's get on with the unboxing. There you go. Just beauty. Okay, so it has this really great metallic body. It feels really nice in the hand. The design is not exactly new though. I guess you know, you might have seen this design before on some Chinese handsets. Now, I don't really like this elevated camera design. It's gonna be scratch prone while placing it on surfaces. You're gonna get a case to avoid that. Now let's take a look at what else is there in the box. Okay, it's another box. The CPU case. That's actually nice because I'm gonna need a day or two to get a proper one. Basic stuff, the ejector tool. Let's have a look at the tray. Okay, so dual nano SIMs, both supports VoLTE. This is really nice because this one is a metallic one, not made of fiber. One thing I'd like to mention here that this phone doesn't have a expandable memory slot. It doesn't have a hybrid solution either. So it's up to you whether to go for the 64 gig or 128 gig variant. Let's put it back there. So other than that, we have the red Type-C cable here and the dash charger. Let's have a look at the ratings. So it's a 5 volt 4 amps charger. This should work damn fast because even the 2 amps usual chargers, they are real fast. So OnePlus claims that The dash charge produces 20 watts of power reliably, giving a day's power in like half an hour. Now I don't know what is exactly different with this dash charging and the regular fast charging. I really hope it doesn't get hard like grilled steak, which is the case for fast charging. I recommend using a regular charger once in a while, because if it is indeed like fast charging, the battery gonna have a hell of a lifespan if you make it a trend. So back to the handset, it comes with that new 2:1, or as they say 18:9 aspect ratio, rather than the usual 16:9 from before. And now this one doesn't have a physical button like OnePlus 5. Maybe that's why it doesn't look taller at all. Let me compare it to the previous phone. This is the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. Now this one is 15.4 centimeter tall, where the OnePlus 5T is 15.6 centimeters tall. But as you can see, there is not much, noticeable difference. But it is, less wider and also slimmer, much slimmer. So let's put that back. Okay, I mean, I really did like the V30 Plus when it comes to the overall beauty, but nonetheless, I guess this bezel-less 18:9 trend is really happening for even the low-range phones. But one thing is a bit let down for me, since I was using a Quad HD Super AMOLED till now. This one is only FHD, and also it's AMOLED, not Super AMOLED. But as AMOLED or Super AMOLED display equipped phone user for like 5 years now, I'm gonna say with 3300 mAh battery, I guess FHD is better if you want a decent battery life out of it, like I do. Because QHD do looks nice, but with 4 or 5 hours of screen on time, that's a major deal breaker. So FHD with 3300 mAh is not a bad combo. The pixel density gap is about 100 with the Note 4, but it's fine. And Samsung should really learn from that, because they keep piling these big PPI Super AMOLED displays without caring much about the battery life. So that's pretty much it for the battery. Okay, so there's this front 16 megapixel shooter with f2.0, and it's a 20 mm lens with FHD recording. Beside that, there's a LED notification. At the back, we have the dual camera setup, which is really big right now in the market. The primary shooter is a 16 megapixel, and the secondary is 20 megapixel, both being 27 mm with f1.7 aperture, and this is the dual LED flash. Nothing new. But this time they dropped the telephoto from the OnePlus 5 for a bigger one to provide better results in low light. They do some pixel merging based on the standard bracketing principle we do, in the DSLRs, multiple exposure pixels combined into one to produce a better lit pixel. Now this dual cam config is really confusing, since the 20 megapixel ain't gonna be used all the time. But I guess they could have just given the choice to the user whether to use the 20 megapixel or not for casual shoots, like they do get the choice to whether opt for the telephoto or not on the OnePlus 5. I actually did like the telephoto on the OnePlus 5. They could have just provided the wider aperture to provide better low light experience anyway, maybe some better BSI sensor. Now both the front and back camera lack OIS or optical image stabilization like V30 Plus or some other flagships offer, but OnePlus offers similar EIS or electronic image stabilization to provide somewhat relief to the cause. But still it's digital, so it's not really that good. But it's not that a big deal if you don't do much videography, since that's where it's gonna shine. I really recommend V30 Plus for videographers. By the way, you can find the link for both the phones in the description below, which will really help the channel to make more videos like this in future. Okay, so regarding the physical buttons and ports, we have nothing on the top. That's a bit weird since the 3.5mm kind of deserves the place, I guess. It's just personal opinion though. So below we have the Type-C port, the 3.5mm, and the single speaker reel. I heard that it's really loud. I guess I'm gonna find out. So to the right there's the volume rockers and the usual alert slider from the OnePlus 5. To the left they have the power button and the SIM slot. So the fingerprint scanner is right where it belongs, like how Samsung does it. They did even worse on the Note 4 and Note 8. You need to swipe your finger over the slick physical home button. Yeah, that's like real convenient for people who's in a hurry, like you're in an accident and what. So there's a thin protector film on top of it. I just noticed that. I guess I'm gonna leave that be. Okay, so let's come to the primary specs now. Already said, but I'm gonna repeat that. It's an AMOLED screen with 18:9 aspect ratio. It's a 6.01 inch display. Um, Also, I would like to mention that FHD means 1080 by 2160. So you're gonna get 401 ppi density, which is not really bad if you think about the battery again. It's protected by the fifth generation of the mighty Corning Gorilla Glass. Now, OnePlus 5T sports Snapdragon 835 SoC, which has an octa-core CPU that follows the ARM's legacy Bigelow architecture. I mean, in real, this is a combo of two quads, one being at 2.4 gigs, while other quad is at 1.9 gigahertz. The cores are called Cryo these days, if anyone want to know. So the quads switch depending on the load, so that you get optimum battery life out of it. It has 6 gigs of DDR4, more precisely LPDDR4X RAMs. Now, I say this one has 64 gigs of storage. No idea about the read-write speed though, but I'm guessing it's top-notch. Now let me remind you that this is everything you're gonna get, since expandable card slot is not there. Basically, I had this 32 gig which I'm gonna use on my DSLR now. So you are getting uh, uh, an Adreno 540 GPU, which is pretty much one of the top GPU right now on mobiles. It has 3300 mAh battery, which is kind of a letdown, but then again the biggies stick to small ones like forever to avoid heating issues. A gentle reminder to use regular charging once in a while. Fingerprint scanner is promised to be real fast, which is expected since pretty much all of them are fast right now, even the low range ones. Also, there's an interesting thing that you can scroll using gesture on this scanner. Real nifty trick there. But I was expecting that the scroll works everywhere, but it's just for the notification panel, nothing much. Maybe a software update gonna do that later on. I don't know. It has NFC, this thin line over the dual cams. It's the antenna. Now it lacks IR blaster, so no IR remote apps gonna work. I kinda enjoyed that, like your people enjoying TV and you can mess with them discreetly or come to the rescue when the remote is lost in the desert. Even control your DSLR shutter release. But never mind. Uh, oh, almost forgot. Other than the fingerprint scanner, you get a quick scan face unlock feature. Now let's start this device up. I've actually set this up, to show you the settings and all. This came with Android Nougat, but after the first update I got, it's now on Oreo. There you go. So I guess I'm happy. So this is it for this video. I'm gonna try this baby a bit more before I can actually provide any insights. One thing I gotta say is I'm really enjoying OxygenOS after that laggy Samsung feel. So I guess 6 gigs variant is enough. I don't know how the 8 gig variant performs, but even this one is way too fast. Yeah, you never feel any lag, like uh, even switching through 20 open apps from the memory. So anyways, now comment below if you want a detailed performance or usage stats review, and also I think I'm gonna make a camera review on this. So that's it. If you like this video, please share it, like it, and if you want more videos like this, do subscribe. Signing off.